Hey guys, welcome back to the Noir Bar. Thousand movies before you die, our nasty little corner. I think it's bigger than our nasty little corner. Starting to be our main thing is the Noir Bar. We'll have to do some recordings for the comedy cabaret soon. But as for now, we're sticking with noir and deep in noir territory. 1964, Samuel Fuller's The Naked Kiss. Wow, we're deep in the 1960s here. This film has a real great 1960s vibe. This is a uh, really female-centric film noir. I mean, it's fantastic. What an opening right from the get-go. This one really grabs your attention. We've got the amazing Constance Towers as Kelly. No last name, just Kelly. And Kelly is just out there kicking butt. This movie starts off in really one of the best noir fashion. Opening shot, a woman, prostitute, beating the hell out of a guy with her shoe. Her wig comes off. She's bald. She's still beating him. She takes his wallet. He's got $800 in there. She takes 75 bucks, throws the rest in his face and says, "I'm just taking what you owe me." Right? He's knocked out. He's on the ground. She like takes one of those soda seltzer bottles, sprays it in his face, slaps him around with the money, and then slowly as the credits are sort of rolling, she adjusts her makeup, puts the wig back on. She's got this tough look on her face, and it's just one of the best character expositions in the first few seconds that you're ever going to get. Tight, concise, immediately what this woman's all about. She's no nonsense, she's honest, right? Didn't take all his money. And we get a real good idea of her character. And it really starts off with an amazing bang, uh, uh, and it just kind of keeps going from there. You know, she we pick up 2 years later. She's getting off a bus, and this our next character, his name is Griff, and he's the town police captain, I guess, and he picks her up, right, and samples her services, and then promptly tells her to get out of town. This guy's a real piece of work, all right. This town is called Grantsville. And in addition to Griff, there's another main character, and his name's Grant, and he's the wealthy guy, that everybody loves, thinks he's a great guy. He's sort of the grandson or the great grandson of the founder of the town, just an upstanding citizen, and he's come back from overseas. And this sets up this really fantastic noir. I mean, this thing is just a gut punch, constant action, like just no nonsense film. It sets up real juxtapositions. There's nothing subtle here. After she turns this trick and is told to get out of town, not really get out of town, actually, just tells her to go to the next town over where there's a brothel run by a Candy, and she should just go be one of the bonbons over there. Well, this is a change. This is sort of a change moment for her, and we see her. She takes some time. She's looking in the mirror, decides to go straight, and she doesn't just go straight. She becomes like the best nurse for like crippled children. So she's not just the whore with a heart of gold. She's the whore with a heart of gold who looks after crippled children. I mean, this is really, we've definitely left the 50s here. We haven't completely left the Hays Code behind, but I mean, it's almost gone. I mean, it's in the rearview mirror here. I mean, it's clear that she's a prostitute. That is not hidden at all. There's sexual deviant themes in it. This is really a great juxtaposition. We're getting some amazing themes here about small town hypocrisy. Can somebody really change? What is a hero? Is is Kelly a hero? I think you'll find that she is. She's definitely not a femme fatale. She's not corrupting anybody. She's not an anti-hero. She's full-on hero. She steps in when Candy, the local madam, is trying to get one of the other nurses to become a bonbon, and she deals with her in the typical fashion, right? And then in the course of her sort of character arc, she falls in love with this Grant guy, the upstanding, I put that in quotes, upstanding citizen. And then things go awry. He's murdered, and she becomes, suspect. And then, we have to see how it all unravels, and how this will end for Kelly. Will she be able to make the turn and become an upstanding citizen, or will she be, thrown back into her past and maybe go to jail as a murderer? And I'm not going to spoil it for you. You got to watch this film. I mean, this film it's black and white, but it's so different from the other noir, classics in that the lead is a female. She's heroic. She's not treated as, some sort of many noirs, they treat women as somehow suspect and they're always to blame for everything. And that's not the case here at all, right? There's a real juxtaposition between Kelly and this town. This upstanding town is filled with hypocrites. Is filled with really morally questionable people. Griff is probably the worst offender here. And the film, is probably one of my biggest complaints. I don't have a lot of complaints here, other than that, the Hays Code, unfortunately, I said is it's not gone, and it makes for a bit of a confusing part of the film. Like you're not exactly sure what Grant's. I mean, it's made clear what his issue is, but it could be a lot clearer. It's a little like I had to watch it a second time, the scene, to be, what the hell is going on. So yeah, that's a problem. And then Griff, his character arc, it's undeserved. I think he's a scumbag, and I think the film tries to redeem him, and I just don't think he's earned it. But other than that, I think this is an explosive film. I mean, this is, like I said, what you get at the beginning, this opening scene, and it just keeps going from there. It's really well shot. Sam Fuller, he did Pick Up on South Street, which is an amazing film with Richard Widmark. He was one of the youngest reporters. I think at 17, he was a reporter in the States. He fought in World War II. This guy's a really sort of interesting director, and he generally makes sort of these tight films. There's a funny little I guess Easter egg in it, in that she walks past a movie theater and it's playing a movie called Shock Corridor, which is a Sam Fuller film that Constance Towers starred in a few years earlier. So it's a little reference to himself. This is a fun film. Watch this film. It's an example of a very different type of film noir. It's got a lot of the similarities, but it turns a lot of the themes and tropes, on their heads, and it's just fun. It's frankly, some of the pseudo feminist films of today. I wish some of the makers of those films would watch this film. This is how it's done, right? This is how you make a woman tough. You don't turn her into a just a a male, basically, is what they do, right? I mean, she is kick-ass without, having to turn her into just basically another man. She's fantastic. She's tough. She's smart. She quotes Goethe. She's just this amazing character, and you're gonna love this film. Check it out, from 1964, The Naked Kiss. Not exactly sure why it's called The Naked Kiss, to be honest. There is some reference to the naked kiss is how she finds out the deviance of this guy Grant, but quite frankly, I didn't get that from the film at all. I didn't get any sense that she got anything from his kiss or anything like that. I think it's just a sensational name for this film. But check it out. 1964, Naked Kiss, Samuel Fuller and Constance Towers. Get busy watching or get busy dying.